Okay, everyone, so today we're going to be learning some more multiplication tricks. We learned some decimal tricks. Now we're going to be learning multiplication tricks. Multiply by 5. It's very simple. Multiply by 5 is very simple. It's basically multiplying by 10 and dividing by 2. Or it's multiplying by 2 dividing by. No, that's division by 5. Okay, so how? Let's take a number 62. It might seem very intimidating, but first we multiply that by 10. So 62 times 10 equals to 620. Then what's half of 620? 310. So 62 times 5 is 310. I think this can make lots. I think you guys understand how this makes sense. So 62 times 5, it's all over 10. No, I'd be like, oh, this looks like 1/2. No, I'd be like, let's put parentheses. It'll be like 10 over 5, sorry. 62 times 10 divided over 5. 62 times 10 is 620. Huh? Oh, my 2. What am I doing? That's also. Yeah. Sorry. I did like put 5. Now I realize what I did wrong. Now let's try with another number. I'm going to give you some tests. I haven't really prepared this, and I'm going to give you some tests. Like the first number is going to be 26. 26 times 5 equals what? I have 5 seconds. 130. 78 times 5. Wait. 390. 46 times 5. 230. Now I'll give you 4 seconds. 37 times 5. 29 times 5. 145. And then it's going to be a little bit tricky. 33. 30, 37 times 5. 4 seconds. 185. Okay, so this is just a test. Now let's see. So, the first question is going to be 26 times 5. I'm pretty sure this is 130. Yeah. 78 times 5. 390. The next one is 46, then 37. So 46 times 5. 230. 37. 185. Good. 29 times 5. 145. 37 times 5. 185. Perfect. So now we learn how to multiply by 5. Now, how to multiply by 25? You could just multiply by 5 and then multiply by 5 again. But there's an easier way. You know, 4 times 25 is equal to 100, right? This will help. Right now, what is 5 times 25? Huh? Simple, 125. Now, may I ask you, what is 14 times 25? It might seem hard. I'll give you some time. I'll explain later. Okay, guys. So 14 times 125 equals to 12 times 125 plus 25 times 2. 12 times 125 is like 4 times 3 times 125. 4 times 125 is 100. 100 times 3 is 300. 300 plus 25 times 2 is 300 plus 50 equals to 350. Oh, did I make a mistake somewhere? Oh, I did 125. Sorry. 14 times 25. That's why I feel like I did something wrong. 40 times 25. If you saw 40 times 125, I am so sorry. So sorry. Let me try this again. 28 times 25. Sorry, but this is going to have to be a little harder. With my logic, just try to find the nearest multiple of 4 and then multiply that by 100. Actually, this would be very simple. I just realized that this 28 was a multiple of 4. You're like, oh my god, this looks hard. But it's easier than you think. Try to find the nearest multiple of 4, and then um, add it. It's just basically the distributive property. But there should be some things of multiples of 25. You should memorize the first 1 to 4 multiples of 25. So, and I can do this like in a flash. I mean, for sure, it is like 20. It is easily 21 and 50. Now I'll give you like 4 seconds to solve this one. Equals to, oh, sorry. 58 times 20. 1450. Took me some time to calculate. Now, anyways, if you keep practicing, you'll get better. We have I didn't write this down, but they can do a bonus trick. 125. 120. But first, let me just explain the 25. You could also do 5 times 5 times 6, which is like 30 times 5, which is like 150. Now, you should memorize these 25 multiples. 25 times 1, 25, 25 times 2, 50, 25 times 3, 75, 25 times 4, 100. This will have to come in divisibility rules, so these are important. Now let's try 125. It's a little harder because 25 times 8 equals to 1,000. So you have to memorize more facts. Listen to me. 25 times 1 is 125. 125 times. This one I don't think you have to memorize. You could just at least memorize the first 4. So you get to 500. Now, then from there, you should also memorize this. 25 times 5 is 625. And then you don't have to memorize. I won't force you, but you should. You could. It'll be a little bit faster. Anyways, what's 56 times 125? It's more easier. 56 is actually a multiple of 8. So it's going to be 7,000 because 7 times 8 equals to 56. And so you just multiply 7 times 1,000. 7,000. Now I'm going to give you 25 times 125. Oh yeah, I forgot that's like powers of 5. So 27 times 125. Mm, 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 mhm, mm, mm, mm. 3,375. Perfect. If you got that answer, you're absolutely right. Well, because it's a calculator. So now let's do powers of 2. How to multiply by a power of 2? What is 5 times 2, may I ask you? 10. 5 times 4, 20. 5 times 8, 40. You keep on doubling. So, how do you do 7? How do you do 87 times 4? This looks very intimidating. But first, you just keep doubling. So, first, you get 174 when you double. And then you double that to get 348. It's multiplying by 4 is the easiest out of here because you just double twice. Like you double and then you double. Let's do some practices. Mm-mm. 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 384. Perfect. Now, oh, why did I keep closing the calculator tab? Well, I'll be giving some instructions. I'm not going to put that much this time. 34 times 4 equals what? 34 times 4 equals, well, in my book, it's going to be 136. Good. 85 times 4. 340. Now I'm just going to make you guys pause because I don't feel like waiting. So 23 times 4. Pause. 92. Now let's try some 8s. 8 is just going to be multiplying by 4 and then multiplying by 2. Or just multiplying by 2 and then multiplying by 2 by multiplying by 2. Multiplying by 2 is relatively easy. Doubling is relatively easy in your head. If you practice doubling, well, then you can also get good at this. So 57 times 8. I like to focus for compatible numbers such as 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, 16. Yeah. 57 times 8 is what? So, sorry, it took me a while. 456. Yeah. Now you could practice some more at your home. You could search for multiplying by 8 practices. Now, let's do multiplying by 11. I forgot to put that in my list, which was very stupid because it's very important and very cool. Now, you already know 7 times 11. You know till like 9. But like, this is not the kind of 11 we're talking about. This one is way more easier. Like this. Now, it's so easy. First, you know 25, right? Well, you move them away. So 25 will be like 2, and then there's something in the middle, and then it's going to be 5. What is going to be in the middle? It's going to be the sum of those numbers. Yeah, that's true. So it's going to be 275. Plus, first you do 2. First you put the first number. Then you put the sum of the numbers. Then you put the last number. This is very easy. If you do regrouping, it's also simple. Like if you have 4 and 8, you could do 4. And then 4 plus 8 is 12, but it's not going to be 4,128. It's going to be 528. You will group the tens place in the middle sum, and you put that in the hundreds. What I mean is like 4x8. It's not going to be like 412.8. It's going to be like 4 plus 1 in the first in one of the places, and then it's going to be 2, and then it's going to be 8. It's going to be 528. You're going to have to regroup it. Then it won't make any sense. Like you can also do 40. You can also do by 22. Now, what about three-digit numbers? I don't remember. I might be a little sketchy on this myself. But first, you get the first number, okay? And then you sum that number. 2 plus 5 is 7. So if you have a sheet, have write 2, then write 7. Then instead of writing that 5, which I don't think you have to find the sum of the next two numbers. 5 plus 8 is 13. You group that 1, put that on the 7, which we found out as a sum, and got the second sum. And then we put the 8 in the back because it's the last number. The middle number will just be the numbers giving the sum. 2,838. Oh, 258 times 2,838. Perfect. That's how you multiply by three-digit numbers. You can even do that for four-digit numbers. But so 786. Try 786. Get out your notepad. So first, I'll show you how you do it, but I'm not gonna do it myself. So first, you write 7. Then you put the sum of 7 and 8, and then you get the sum of 8 and 6, and then put the 6 at the end. Regroup if you need to. I don't even know what I didn't calculate this time. If you got 8646 according to this calculator, you're correct. Good job. You can also multiply by now since you know 2, you can also multiply by this. Now there's one more trick I want to tell you which I didn't write in my list. And then I'll go back to my list. How to multiply with 101 with a two-digit number. Like with a one-digit number, you know it's repeating. With a two-digit number, with 101, you'll be repeating 8585. 5656. Now that with a three-digit number, it's a little tricky. It's like regrouping. So it's gonna be probably 86156. I think you regroup. I'm not sure. No, it was a hard one. Let's not do three-digit numbers times 100 number. But 300 digit numbers times 1001 is easy. 456. 763. 735. Anyways, this is just quick computations. Now, how do we do any number? How do we score any number ending in 5? Okay, let's delete that because there's no actual trick for that. Well, there is a trick for scoring numbers. That's going to actually be a little later down the road. How to multiply any numbers ending in 1? Well, this is going to be very simple. Ending in 1 is very simple. So, how do you do like 21 times 31? First, you multiply the tens digit numbers. 2 times 3, you get 6. And then you add them up. 2 and plus 3 equals 5. It's a weird trick, but it works. 51 times 91. First, you multiply them up, so you get 45. Then you get 5 plus 9, which is 14. Regroup the 14, remove the ones, and then you just put the 1 at the end. 4,641. Do this on paper. It's going to be very quick. Some of these are so quick. Yeah, 1891. It just seems so cool. 1701. Yeah. Anyways, now we're done with that. Ending in 1. Now, what if the 10 digits in the same and the ones digits add up to 10? How does this work? Like 26 times 34. Well, first you multiply 2 times 3. You get 6. No, the 10 digits have to be the same. Sorry. So it has to be 26 times 24. It's very restricted, but it works. So first you multiply 2, like it's the common tens digit, and then you multiply that by that number plus 1. So it's going to the first number is going to be 3. Then the first number is going to be 6. 2 times 3 equals 6. And then you add, and then, and then on the other side you put 6 times 4, which equals to 24. So it's going to be 624. 56, no, 58 times 52. 5 times 6 equals 30. And then you add 16, or 8 times 2. So 3016. It's also a very efficient method. 9021. Yeah. Now we're going very fast. So let's do a review. How to multiply by any power of 10? By any power of 10, I mean like any power of 10. Like even a decimal power of 10. Simple. You know that one, right? If you're doing like a two-digit number, if you're not doing a decimal, you can easily just put in this one, you can change the 1 into a 5 too. You can do that. That's a very quick way. So it's going to be 0.052. Yeah, so this 1 over here and that 5 2, you just take off those two digits and just write 5 2 on the side. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. Now what about this? Well, this is like dividing by 10 or multiplying by 0.1. So you just move one place value down. So divided by 10, what do you think it's going to be? It's going to be around 2 and 3. 2.5 makes the uttermost sense when you move it down the place values. Now I'm not just going to be doing like, this is too easy. It's 56,000. So it's a very quick review. It's just a fast way. So for the young viewers out there, this is also a good way. But for the people who are like good into multiplication, yeah, I think you should know this. The squaring method's part one. Part one is just going to basically be, what about ending in 5? How to square any number ending in 5? What does square mean? Squaring means like getting a number and then multiplying it by the same thing. It's also called that number to the power of 2. But we refer to squaring because this can be an area of the square. Like if one side is 85, the area of the square would be 85 times 85, or 85 squared. Now, how do we solve some things like this? I mean, with your multiplication tables, if you don't know the multiplication tables, then what are you doing right now? 6 times 6 is 36. 15 times 15, well, not everyone has learned to like 20. So, anyways, this is going to be one of the problems that you can solve. How do we solve this? It's going to end with 25. I can tell you that. But what will be the first number in front of it? The first number in front will be 1 times 2, not 1 times 1. It will be 1 times the next number, 1 times 2. Doesn't this seem a bit familiar? It'll be 225. Doesn't that seem a bit familiar? Yeah, you know the tens digit is the same, right? That trick? Well, the tens digit the same is a real reason why this makes sense. Like 85 times 85. Well, since 5 adds up to 10, 5 and 5 adds up to 10, you could just do 8 times 9 and then put the 25. So it's going to be 7225. It's actually the same trick from before. It's just used for squares too, but no one really thinks of the tens digit the same as this. Plus, that's only going to be part one. Otherwise, part two. Part two, I'm going to show you this very interesting method. 51 times 51 is, how do we solve it? 50 times 50 is 2,500. But 51 times 51, I can solve it easy. It's 2,601. How? Well, because the hundreds place moves up, and the ones and the ones like the units digit. Two, the next one's going to be 2,704. 52 times 52 is 2,704. Because it's going to be one. It's going to be 200. The different, like 52, right? Well, in the hundreds place, 20. You can just do 25 plus that 2. You get 27, and then just attach the numbers digit, the units digit. It's 2,704. It's a very nice method. Now let's not keep. Now what about this? Well, 25 plus 9 equals to 34, and then you attach the units digit 81, so you get 3481. You can keep doing this on from 60. In fact, you can do this all the way to 100. I call this the hundreds method. Though this is just a little bit of the hundreds method, it's a huge operation. It's not just here, it's going to be after 100. See, you add 1, but then you put the units digit for 11. You also have to regroup sometimes. So 121, but it's going to be 144. But if I go to like 64, no, 64, 5, 66 times 66. It's not going to be 42, it's going to be 43, since you're going to it's going to 4356. Because you're going to have to regroup. Like 64 is going to be the last one when the hundreds just increased by 1. Then it's going to increase by 2, and then it's going to keep increasing by 1, and then it's going to increase by 2, and you need to regroup. But when I say the Hewlett operation, what's 100 times 100? 1,000, 10,000. 101 times 101? Well, you just add 2 to the hundreds place, and then you attach the units. 1,000, 10,201. 107 times 107? Huh? Huh? Well, 100, it's going to be, you're going to add 14. So you add 100 plus 14, 114, and then you attach units. It's 11,449. If you don't get what I'm saying, I might make a video on this later. It's a very complex stuff. I mean, I made this all on my own. It works to like 202, but instead you multiply by 4 with each coming. So it's going to be like 440,401. 41,209. Yeah, it's a very nice system I made up. It's a very complex thing too. Now, the squaring methods part 3. This is the very most interesting thing I can tell you. 1 times 1. 1. 11 times 11. 121. 121. Notice that. But it's going to come up later. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think you can see where this is going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, this is 6. No, I mean, I forgot. I added one extra one for the one side, so I added an extra one. And then 22 times 22. Well, 2 equals to 4. So 22 times 22 is actually going to be a multiple of 4. 484. 222 times 222. I think this might not look good, but it's actually 4, 8. That's going to be 12. And that's going to be 8, 4. Or when regrouping, you get 4, 9, 2, 8, 4. It's so cool. This works with any repeating number. You just see how many times it repeats, and then you just write it down. And then you write down the multiples of the square of that number. Like if you want to do 7, 7, 7, 7, so 5 sevens. So you do like, oh, and that's going to be a little tricky. I don't now want to do multiples of 49. Let's do something easier. So I want to do something for 3. 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It's going to be 9. That's going to be 18. It's 27. Then it's 36. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 45, and it's going to be 54, and then it's going to be 45, it's going to be 36, and it's going to be 27, it's going to be 18, it's going to be 9. I have a feeling it adds up to 10. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all regrouping. I didn't want to do all that regrouping. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty simple. No, at some point the pride and brace out, that's the thing. Now there's one more trick. One more. There's this super cool number called 142851857. If you were in the decimal tricks video, which I don't think you were, 142857 is on cyclic number. See, you can just look at Wikipedia itself. See, so 142857 now times 2 will be the second smallest number. Will come up here, and then it'll be 85714. That will be the third smallest number, which is 4. 428571. Then it's going to be 571428. Then it's going to be 714285, and that's going to be 857142. It's a cyclic number. If leading zeros are not permitted in numerals, then 142 is the only cyclic number. If there's no leading zeros, because after that there's going to be leading zeros. It's a very cool number. And it's also 1 divided by 7. So yeah, it's pretty easy. Fine. It's a very cool cyclic number. You can search it up online too. Now, goodbye.